Welcome to Cooking with Chef Rich. Today we're going to be making an M&M cake. When we're all done, you'll see what the M&M cake looks like. It's a great looking cake. My friend Stephanie from Burnsville makes it all the time, and it's a great cake. Everyone loves it. This week I made three or four other cakes. All the cakes that I made are more on the complex side. They were all made from scratch and they take a bit of time. You really have to enjoy baking to make the cakes that I made this week. They were all really great cakes. However, they definitely take some time. This one's a little bit easier, not much easier, but a little bit easier. Some people are going to say, okay, that's right up my alley. Anyway, we're going to jump right in and we'll talk about the ingredients. I have 3 eggs. I have a cup of water. I have a 1/3 cup of vegetable oil. And here we go. So this is just Duncan Hines Devil Food Cake. If you don't like Duncan Hines, you can use Pillsbury or any other brand. It doesn't matter. What we're going to do, we're going to take our water and put it in a bowl. Put all this in. We're going to take our cake mix. Mix it up. This one is for people that want a great looking cake, but don't really want to put the time, a couple hours in to do a cake. And it really actually does look phenomenal. That's pretty good. So basically we're just going to put half the mix in one, half the mix in the other, and bake it off at 375, probably for about 18 minutes I'm guessing, but I'll let you know. So I'm just going to take my spatula and smooth it out a little bit. And that's pretty good too. We're going to put this in a 375-degree oven, and I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out. See you shortly. Our cakes have been in for right about 17 minutes, and I'm relatively certain you're done. You're definitely done. I'm just going to put them out. You can tell that they're done because they spring back when you touch them, and they're also pulling away from the sides, so they're good. I'm going to cool these down, and I'll show you what to do with them next. So we are working on our M&M cake, and as I had said earlier, I made 3 other cakes this week. They're all made from scratch. Everything's homemade, fresh. This cake is for the person that wants a nice looking cake, but wants to do it as easy as possible. So we have our Duncan Hines cake. This part, I'm just going to actually just cut the top off so it's nice and even. It doesn't have to be perfectly even, but just so it's not very so domed. You can give this to the kids or eat it yourself, either way. What we're going to do, we're going to work really hard on some frosting. I happen to have some here. I'm using the creamy chocolate frosting, but you can use whatever you want. If you want to use white frosting, you can. Any type of frosting. Duncan Hines doesn't spread very easy. It's a little bit thick for spreading. I find if you do a rocking motion, and I know there's a bunch of people out there saying, gee, this is right up my alley. Actually, most people. The ones that really enjoy baking will like my other recipes. Definitely a little bit more challenging. This looks really good. The truth of the matter is it looks as good as my other cakes. It's just not homemade from scratch. I don't know if you notice, I'm just basically doing a rocking motion back and forth. Just a little bit more. I'm going to try to get it a little smooth. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's probably pretty good. We're going to take this one. We're just going to flip it over right onto it. Try to level it out a bit. Opened up I just made my second batch of chocolate frosting, I should say. Before I do the tops, I'm actually going to do the sides. The good part about this cake is, if you watch me ice my other cakes, Not that it's a struggle, but it definitely takes some time to ice a cake to do a good job with it. This cake doesn't, it's not that important how neat it is. Duncan Hines frosting is definitely thicker than most icings. So, like I said, the rocking back and forth is definitely the easiest method I find. And the rest of it we'll put on top. You really just need a very, very thin layer of icing. I do like Duncan Hines cakes, don't misunderstand me. But generally speaking, they're rather sweet. So it's not like you need a lot of icing. And unlike professional cake decorating, like the cake came up a little bit. It's not a big deal. It's all going to get covered up. You'll see what I mean in 2 minutes. If this was a, what I call a more professional cake, it would be a big deal. But how it looks when it's done icing makes literally absolutely no difference, which is a beautiful part about this cake. That's what I was talking about, but it's all right. Not a big deal. Alrighty, now comes the fun part. This is a king-size KitKat, and it definitely has to be king-size. I broke them up so they're in twos. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to build a little wall with KitKats. And that's why it doesn't matter what the how the icing looks, because nobody's really going to see it. Alrighty, so that part is done. The next part, hold up. Now we have to make sure our KitKat stays on our cake. So here I have a little bit of red ribbon, and we're actually going to go around 2 times. Just to double reinforce it. That's probably all right. Got that. Tie a nice little bow. So now comes the next part. We're gonna take, so these are plain M&Ms. If you like other M&Ms, that's fine too. That's probably pretty good. Oh, I missed a spot. There you go. And here you have an M&M cake. As you can see, it was done relatively easy. Doesn't matter how you ice it. If there's imperfections, doesn't matter, nobody's gonna notice. And it's a very cute looking cake. So anyway, thank you, Stephanie. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, share it with your friends. Be safe.